Good afternoon, it's 7th of October, Tuesday, about 12:15 p.m. We're here to inspect our bees. It's springtime and we're gonna start with the pale yellow hive. Last inspected 27th of September. Last time they had 3 sides of brood. Let's see today. And let's start with frame number 1. Empty. 2 west empty, 2 east empty. Frame number 3. 3 west is about 5% honey, and 3 east is about 3% honey. Frame 4, we have 10% honey and 50% nectar. That's 4 west, and 4 east is about 10% honey. 5 west, we have some practice queen tops, which I will destroy. It's a brood. So we have the queen here. And about 80% capped brood, and 5% honey and 5% pollen, 10% nectar. That's on 5 west, and 5 east is actually nothing there. 6 west, it's really heavy with about 90% brood in all stages and 3% honey. And 6 east is 90% brood in all stages, 5% honey. Good. Frame 7, 7 west is empty, and 7 east is also about 50%. Let me revise that. 70%, I would say 90% brood in all stages. That's 7 east and 5% honey. You can see in the lower right, eggs. Okay, and nothing in 7 west. Frame 8 west is nothing. 8 east is about 50% nectar. Frame 1 becomes our frame 8. I think I've seen 4 sides of the brood, which is good. That's it for our video. Let's check our orange hive. So this one has been fed last time. Seems like they did not touch their feed, which hopefully means that they are getting their feed from nature. And this is the orange hive, which a few weeks ago is a combination of the queenless yellow hive, which I combined with the more active orange hive. There's a lot of bees actually underneath this, so they're feeding. They are feeding. It is good. 8 west nothing, 8 east nothing. 7 west nothing, 7 east has about 5% honey and 20% pollen. 6 west, 5% honey and 10% nectar. 6 east is 3% honey and 40% nectar. 5 west is 3% honey 20% nectar, 10% pollen, and 5 east is empty. 4 west is 10% nectar. 4 east is really good 70% nectar. 3 west is, I would say, just 10% nectar. 3 east is 80% cap brood with the 5% nectar. Queen is here. Blue dotted, but it's already wearing off. Frame 2 west is 80% brood in all stages, and 2 east is empty apart from just maybe say 5% nectar, and 1 west is 75% nectar, and 1 east is empty. Alright, I'll cover them and return back the sugar syrup, and they can continue to feed and feed the young. Yep, there's a lot of dead bees there. Now let's check the olive hive. Yep, they have finished their feed. Start with frame number 8, empty. Frame number 7 is empty. We have a clean floor. Frame 6 empty. And let's see frame number 5. 5 was empty apart from 3% nectar. 5 east is 10% honey, 50% pollen, 10% nectar, and 30% brood in all stages. Frame 4 west is 90% brood in all stages with 5% nectar, and 4 east is 90% brood in all stages with Her Majesty the Queen yellow dotted, and about 3% honey. 3 west is 80% brood in all stages, 15% honey, and 3 east is 85% cap brood, really solid cap brood with 5% honey and 5% nectar. 2 west is, I would still say this is 70% brood in all stages, mostly milky brood and 5% honey. And 2 east is 80% brood in all stages, mostly milky brood and 10% nectar. These colonies really need ready for a super for added space. And 1 east is 97% nectar. 1 east is empty. Put this. As frame number 2. I'll grab the queen excluder and the super. Here is the super. so that the queen, she's bigger than the width of each wire, so she won't be able to go upstairs. And this is the super. It's called the super because it's on top, usually on top of the brood box, and the worker bees can go up here and hopefully fill this up with nectar and honey. I'll put this here. Okay. Last that we're checking is the line hive. Looks like they've finished their sugar syrup. And look at that. They built up that unnecessary bar cone. Save this. Oh, wow. Eight frame is 0, 7 west 0, 7 east has got 80% nectar, 6 west is, I would say, 50% nectar, and 6 east is 70% nectar. 5 west is beautiful, 70% brood in all stages, mostly milky brood. And 5 west is 70% cap brood, 5% pollen, 10% honey. Queen up here. For west is where the queen is, yellow dotted, with 70% mostly cap brood. This is an older batch of brood, and that's a differently colored. This is the differently colored as well. They're different batch, older brood, younger brood. And 4 east is almost 90% brood in all stages, mostly capped. Frame 3, we've got 20% honey, 10% nectar, and about 20% brood, and some 15% pollen. This is really a chunky build. I'll remove it. And frame 2 has about 20% nectar. That's 2 west. 2 east is empty. Frame 1 is empty as well. Not quite ready for its super. Doesn't need feeding.